Hello and welcome to the Georgina Chamber of Commerce 2022 Municipal Election Debate here on Rogers TV. My name is Karen Wolf and I will be your moderator. The debate is being held in cooperation and in partnership with Rogers TV Georgina and the Georgina Chamber of Commerce. During the debate, you're going to hear from 4 candidates who are asking for your vote on October the 24th to be the next councillor for Ward 1. I'll introduce the candidates in a moment, but first I want to go over some housekeeping rules. The order in which the candidates will be introduced and deliver an opening statement was determined by a random draw prior to this program. This order will be reversed at the end of the program for closing comments. Each candidate will be given 1 minute for an opening statement, 1 minute for a closing statement, and 1 minute to answer questions. A timekeeper is here in the studio and she will cue the candidates at the 30-second mark and at the 10-second mark. If a candidate hears something that they'd like to challenge, they'll raise their hand, be recognized by the moderator prior to the next question. There will be time to challenge a comment, and we have rebuttal opportunities will be available if time permits. We're looking forward to a respectful and fulsome discussion today, and I encourage everyone to make the best of the time we have together. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce the 4 candidates that are running in Ward 1. And to my left, I have Charlene Biggerstaff. Next is Ali Kane, Mike Taggart, and Mona Statia. So let's begin with our opening remarks. As a reminder, you each have 1 minute, and this order has been determined with the draw that we had prior to the program. So the first person to provide us with an opening statement is Charlene Biggerstaff.
Georgina is set to grow. Over the next 20 to 30 years, your council will oversee multi-year projects with the most significant growth happening in Ward 1. We are about to tap into our potential. I'm Charlene Biggerstaff. I'm running for the 2022 election, looking to return as your Ward 1 councillor. Throughout this campaign, with every home I visited, I'm inspired by your passion and the resiliency of this community. In conversations, I hear common threads that street safety, revitalization need to be priorities. While a financially balanced approach is vital, there is a desire to increase our business development, jobs, and have access to our lake while respecting our environment and our heritage. A balanced approach is needed. I will bring a balanced approach to council that will set us on a course to get the work done piece by piece, year after year. I would like to put my dedication, experience, and passion for our community to work for you.
Next, Ali Kane, please.
Hi, Georgina. I'm Dr. Ali Kane, and I'm running to be your Ward 1 councillor. I want to use my efforts to influence our town for the better. Georgina, I'll be a sensible voice on council, one that will support the operations of the town while simultaneously ensuring that your interests are represented. Listen, I'm not interested in making flashy promises simply to get votes. I'm here for safe streets and neighborhoods, to be fiscally responsible, and to improve and expand upon amenities that we already have. I'm ready to put all of the skills that I've gathered over my years in clinical practice, in being an entrepreneur, and being a steward within this community to work for you. On October 24th, vote Ali Kane. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mike Taggart is next, please.
I want to first thank Karen, Rogers TV Georgina, and the Georgina Chamber of Commerce for this opportunity to speak to the community. And thank you for everyone that's tuned in. I'm Mike Taggart, your neighbor in Ward 1 and a lifetime resident of the town of Georgina. Owning and operating an independent business has given me the skills and awareness to be financially responsible, particularly important in our rapidly growing community. Talking to residents in Ward 1, you've made some of your concerns clear. Community safety, accessibility, and responsible use of your tax dollars. I will be your strong voice on council. Please remember me, Mike Taggart. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And next, Mona Stetia.
Statia. But that's
Statia,
okay.
sorry.
That's okay. Hello, my name is Mona Statia, and I'm running for Ward 1 Council. I live in Keswick, and I run a business in Ward 1. I am running to serve the community, to serve the town, and to give back with my time, knowledge, and experience. Residents are looking for a passionate and strong leader who will listen to them, listen to their concerns, act on them, and get things done. I will be that voice. I moved here 5 years ago, and since I moved here, I've been consistently active within the community, and as such, was awarded a Business Excellence Award for Small Business Community Spirit and a Volunteer Merit Award by the town of Georgina. So being consistent, being present, and not disappearing is my promise to the residents in Ward 1. With more families moving into Georgina, I'm keen to advocate for affordable housing, for food security, and for improvement of our parks for everyone to enjoy. So if you want someone who has and will remain present in your community,
Thank you very much.
vote for Mona on October 24th.
Thank you very much. Okay, now we enter the Q&A portion of our program. And the first question I'm going to ask Ali Kane to take this first. In your opinion, what is the biggest issue facing Ward 1, and what will you do to make it a priority for council?
Thank you for the question, Karen. The biggest issue, as I've been speaking to residents in Ward 1, has come up time and time again, and it's safety. It's the continued maintenance and the studies that need to be done to ensure that we are prioritizing safe streets and safe neighborhoods in the here and now, but that we are dedicated to safety as we evolve and grow as a township. One of the key ways that I know we can do this is working with the Safe Streets Committee and all of the different assessments that they do. For example, they've done a wonderful job of putting in different traffic lights where they found there to be a need, as well as the bollards that give the impression of a narrowed lane to help slow down and calm the traffic in certain neighborhoods. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, Mr. Taggart.
So again, I'm going to echo Ali's remarks. Again, every time at the door, I do hear about safe streets and a safer community. Again, I think we do need to address speed along Lake Drive and other major thoroughfares that speed's an issue. And that can, again, be done through the Safety Committee, adding speed bumps or bollards, the use of our street signs.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Mona Statia.
While I do agree with them that safety is a priority, and I also hear that my biggest concern for not just Ward 1, but for residents of Georgina and all of York Region really is food security. So the last few years, with all my volunteerism with the Georgina Food Pantry and the Georgina Pop-Up Breakfast Club, food security is a big issue, and accessibility to food security is a big issue. And that's why in my platform, I'm advocating to have a secondary location in Keswick, whether it's primarily in Ward 1, as there's a big need for accessibility. Not everybody can get to Sutton, and it's a great facility, don't get me wrong. But for me personally, as your Ward 1 councillor, this is exactly what I would be advocating for: food security and affordability.
Thank you very much. Next, we'll ask Charlene Biggerstaff to take this question.
All great answers, of course, extremely valid. The people from the doors have spoken quite clearly. Safety on the roads, advocating for, obviously, food, additional housing and shelter, through affordability, improved access to our supports, our water. All of these things are very important. As far as the actual traffic calming, there's lots of measures, as some already have spoken. Additional chevrons, working with the school board, I think is important. The school areas seem to be a real hot spot, but I think community engagement is going to be a big piece, because how do we know what's happening unless we're not on the streets? You know, I'm standing in people's front doors and people are zooming by, and you know, we need access to just be able to pick up the phone and allow the YRP to understand where the hot spots are. So we need to engage across all issues with our community at a higher level, more consistently.
Okay, on to question number 2. I'm going to ask Mike Taggart to take this first. What does sustainable growth mean to you?
So again, sustainable growth means that we need to look to make sure that what we're building isn't taking away from what we already have, that it's not going to add more phosphorus to our waterways, and that the buildings hopefully are either a net zero, adding carbon to the planet, or I'm stuck.
The phosphorus in the lakes, absolutely.
Yeah, so phosphorus in the lakes would be a major concern.
Okay, great. Mona, Statia.
That's a really tough question. But when I first heard of sustainable growth, I'm thinking, well, how are we going to grow the town of Georgina? So it's about creating jobs that will be sustainable and that will contribute to the economy in a appropriate manner. And while, yes, of course, we want to be environmentally friendly, I completely agree. But I'm not going to sit here and say I know a whole lot. I don't. I'm not going to admit that I understand everything. I don't. But I will learn, and I will be sure to get to the bottom of things and make the right decisions that are appropriate for the residents. But really, the idea is, how do we grow our town with the right jobs, with the right industries, with the right housing, with the right accessibilities to our parks and to schools and safe schools and streets. That's a priority as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Charlene Biggerstaff next.
Hi. Sustainable lifestyle. Wow, that is a hot one. Again, everything that's been said has great value, of course. Sustainable. What I see when I read some of the upper tier government policies really nodes to that, to start to bring our communities into tighter packs, to redevelop the cores of each of our areas. So yes, this is a Ward 1 conversation, but as you sit at the table, you're in all conversations. Pefferlaw and Sutton are cores as well. So making things more walkable, more accessible, increasing the trails, increasing our accessibility lanes, so anyone on wheels or hobble or anything, whether it's a child's cart or whether it's a human on a bike, making those things will decrease the impact on our community. Also, when we look at the larger plans, we can see that it's basically Lake to Woodbine that's going to be our build out, and we will be protecting things.
Okay, we'll go on to Ali Kane for this question.
Thank you for this question, Karen, and I'm thrilled to be able to answer it because sustainable growth is going to be a priority. Keswick and Ward 1 is perfectly poised to be a hub of economic development over the next number of years. But we can't sacrifice our environment and our sustainability for the sake of economics. We need to take a balanced approach. And two of the top topics on my mind are the Bradford bypass and the need to open up access up here. The highway is here, people are here, and access is starting to slow down. But we need to understand the broader scope of how that impacts our beautiful Lake Simcoe, which has not had an action plan, or if it did have an action plan, action has not been taken to execute that plan. Similarly, as we start to grow the corridor on Woodbine with all of the different developments, how do we ensure that major trucks or the emissions from all of the cars that are going to be coming in don't negatively impact the residents of Georgina? Thank you.
Thank you very much. On to question number 3, and I'm going to ask Mona Statia to take this question. The town of Georgina is completing a waterfront strategy. What recommendations would you like to see that will address the lack of lake access for residents in Ward 1?
That's a really great question. You know what? I'm not going to sit here and say I have all these ideas. I actually would love to see a greater access for more small businesses to operate at the lakefront, to drive more tourism, to make it more accessible for residents to be there, to have separate parking. I'm not going to sit here and tell you things that I don't know. I'm new to this. I'm a business owner, and I love my community, and I will do everything to learn more about the community and serve it. So I'm afraid that for the moment, I'm going to complete my conversation here and close my remarks. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Charlene Biggerstaff.
Waterfront strategy. What would I like to see? Well, I have my own ideas, but when I read over the documentation, it's clear what I'm hearing from people, and I've seen my whole lifetime being around the lake. We need more access, and there's opportunities in Willow Beach and the other major de La Salle to reposition some of the roadways and to, like Mona suggested, bring some businesses and change the parking around to redevelop them. In addition, there's some linkages that can be made down through the whole lake-to-lake access, which is Lake Ontario to Lake Simcoe. That's a long-range plan. So again, walking trails, walking spaces on the road is important, as well as those little road ends. There's so many of them. We're primed for potential of where we can drop a boat in or a kayak.
Okay.
Also,
thank you very much.
of course.
Next, Ali Kane, please.
When I moved to Keswick, I fell in love so much that I opened a business and I named it to celebrate being this wonderful lakeside town. But I'll echo Charlene's thoughts. There is a lack of access in Ward 1, and although we have beautiful amenities up in Willow Beach, De La Salle, and Willow Beach Park, it's not accessible. And I'm focused here in Ward 1. We have private opportunities right now and people who own the waterfront, but it's not easy to access the waterfront in Ward 1. So how do we do it? Well, the Waterfront Master Plan is a great start, and the assessment and the conversations, they're starting now. But we need to take action as soon as possible so that we can start to allow our Ward 1 residents to access the benefits of living in a lakeside town, the health benefits for being by the water, families celebrating being a family by being able to take trips to the water without having to drive 15 or 20 minutes north.
Thank you very much. Yes.
I apologize.
Can we finish?
Of course.
And then I'll come back with. Okay, so Mike Taggart on this, please.
So again, I'd like to see the expansion of lakefront access in Ward 1. So again, expanding the roadway to perhaps include a sidewalk so we can get through the community, what community access we have in Ward 1. Again, if there's ever an opportunity to acquire more lakefront access in Ward 1, would be a dream, to say the least. But again, I'd like to see the town of Georgina work to for that goal. And then just build up and make sure that the access we do have is the best access we can have.
Okay, thank you. Charlene, you wanted to comment on something?
Thank you. It's not really to debate or say that anyone's done anything wrong, but I think it's important for us to realize in Ward 1 the areas that we could possibly expand our access to the water. Most of those shorelines are naturalized now due to the lake's health. So long before we can actually open it up for the public to get back in there, we have to do a whole lot more to clean up the lake's health. And those two have to be in conjunction.
Okay, thank you very much. Go on to the next question now. And I'm going to ask Charlene Biggerstaff to take this first. Residents are getting tired of watching their taxes increase every year. What is the answer?
Oh, that is $1 million question, Karen.
Probably a 70 million.
The tax dollars, like everyone else in the room, I pay taxes here too. I've been here since 2005, 17 years. I've watched everything go up. What I can say is that 48% of your tax dollars, of every dollar, goes to the region, split between the region and the school board. And as I've been talking to people, they aren't aware that those dollars don't actually all come here. The operating budgets, our roads, our waterways, as well as just the water under the ground to supply infrastructure and services are large. Our community programs across Georgina, we have multiple locations. So how do we get better tax dollars? Continuing to save, being cautious about increasing services.
Thank you very much, Charlene. We have to move on. Allie Kane next, please.
Taxation is a top priority for me, and it's why being fiscally responsible is such a priority. Listen, I'm raising my family here in Georgina too, and the cost of living is not making it easy. I know how hard you're working to stretch a dollar to give your family what they want and what they deserve. We need to be fiscally responsible, not just to offset the residents' tax load, but to attract investors up here so that we get businesses to help contribute to the tax burden that right now is put on you and me, hardworking people who are just trying to have a good life and leave something for our families. Where we're at right now, it's not sustainable. And Georgina is unique because we are such a large landmass and we require so many amenities, but the population just isn't there. So it's the same amount of money split amongst less people. We need the businesses to help out.
Thank you very much. Mike Taggart, please.
So again, finding as many efficiencies as we can within the services and programs that we already offer to help keep taxes low. I think we need to add in grow our business taxation policies. And then overall, just again, if we can get grants to help with offset other costs, work to acquire grants.
Okay, thank you very much. And Mona Statia, please.
Well, I think my colleagues here have all expressed some great ideas. And yes, taxation is top of mind. I'm a homeowner as well, and I pay property tax. And yes, every year it goes up. But we have to look at what we're getting and making sure that it's exactly what the residents need. And to offset that, absolutely, we need bigger businesses that will drive more jobs, that will contribute to the taxation structure, that will help alleviate all the excess that the residents are taking. And yes, we're a small population, we're less than 50,000, but we're poised to grow. And until we get to that point, we might have to just be, tighten our belts, be responsible as far as expenditure is concerned, and prove to the business community that it pays to be here in Georgina.
Thank you very much. That concludes our Q&A portion of the program, and now we're going to be moving on to closing statements. And I will remind everybody, it's a minute, and we're going to do in reverse order based on the draw. So I would like to ask Mona Statia to go first.
Thank you very much. So while I've only been in Georgina 5 years, I feel like I've been here a lifetime. Since the day I arrived, I've been active in my community, and I have been extremely, extremely pleased being here. So I live here, I work here, and I give back here. So Georgina is my home, and I'm proud for my efforts and being recognized with my volunteerism. And I believe that our community is looking for a strong, passionate leader who will listen to them and advocate for them. My experiences in the corporate world, both here and abroad, have given me the tools and the resources necessary to be a great councillor for Ward 1. I will advocate for you, I will listen to you, and I will bring those concerns to the table to ensure your voices are heard. So if you want someone that does what she says and says what she means, then vote Mona on October 24th. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mike Taggart, please.
I appreciated the opportunity to participate in this debate, and I thank my other candidates for the respectful exchange of ideas. The opportunity to serve the residents of Ward 1 and be available and responsive to your concerns and actions are those of my top priority. I value and trust the community to represent and act on your needs. I promise to get the job done. I'm Mike Taggart, and I look forward to representing you.
Thank you very much. Allie Kane, please.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you to all of the candidates up here. Before I begin with my closing remarks, I want to just share the mutual respect that I have with these candidates for noticing a gap and putting your name forward. It is not an easy thing to do. Georgina, I'm a hard worker. I'm an innovator. I'm a community builder and a leader. But most importantly, I'm a team player. I'm not just saying that either. Georgina recognized it within me in 2018 when they awarded me the Young Entrepreneur of the Year award, the very year I gave birth to my son. proving that women can do both. I'm an innovator, which I've proved with launching my Canada-wide company successfully to fill the gap for postnatal women and provide better health care. I'm a community builder, which I prove every single day with the hundreds of people working on their health and fitness under the roof of my business located in Ward 1. And finally, I'm a team player, which I've learned throughout the years of playing multiple team sports. On October 24th, I'm ready to put these skills to work for you, Georgina. Vote Ali Kane.
Thank you very much. Charlene Biggerstaff, please.
Likewise, thank you to everyone and to the opportunity. It was an honor to represent you as your Ward 1 councillor in 2017 and 2018. This experience allowed me to build a very strong foundation and understand what's important to you. It's clear community safety needs to be a priority, and a balanced approach needs to come forward for our environment and our agricultural area as we grow, while we keep our taxes in check and make much needed improvements. I will bring a balanced approach, and it'll help set us on a course to get the work done piece by piece, year over year. I'll work hard to create these positive changes in our community and help lay the groundwork that is paramount to Georgina's future. I see our potential too. I've never been more ready to sit at the table and to do the work for this future. I've stayed connected to what's affecting our community, and I know there's more to do. On October 24th, vote Charlene Biggerstaff as your Ward 1 councillor. Let me put my dedication, experience, and passion to work for you.
Thank you very much. Well, that just whizzed right by, didn't it?
It really did.
But thank you all. You did a great job. But unfortunately, that is all the time we have. And I do want to thank the candidates for their participation and you at home for watching. I hope this debate will help you make an informed decision on October the 24th. And I invite you to continue watching Rogers TV as we bring you televised debates for all of the other municipal council positions. I also encourage you to tune in to Politically Speaking this month, when 3 former members of council will discuss some of the issues that are on the table in this election. Schedules for that are available on rogerstv.com. And we want to see you back here on election night, when we will be bringing you all of the local results. So stay safe, everyone, and don't forget to get out and vote.